Okay. Okay, now we're moved on to the inside of the coach, and we're going to start right here by the door and work our way around. The first thing you'll see is the thermostat. It's very similar to the one you have in your house, the heat and the cool. You want to make sure, one thing of note, when you are running the air conditioner, run it on high. You can still have it on auto and set your temperature wherever you want to, but leave the fan on high. It keeps it from freezing up as much. You have better effectiveness out of it that way. And you don't have to light anything or anything like that. You just flip it to cool or furnace. And then you also have a heat pump. It's like some units do on the house as well. Moving over here, this is your hot water tank. So that turns on the heating element inside of it. So again, you want to make sure you've got water in your tank and you've had water hooked up to your trailer for about 10 minutes or so to make sure it's full before you turn this on so that it doesn't burn up your element. And then next we have the water pump. So remember when I showed you that place outside where you hook up or pour water into that white nozzle when you're going to have to take water with you because you don't have a water hose hookup. This is how you get it to come to all the faucets in the trailer. And then moving up here, this faucet, it's got the hot and the cold valves on it, and it swivels down so that it will be out of the way whenever you're folding the trailer down. And then here we have the hookup for that cable that will go to a TV. There's also a 12-volt charge here, so you can. There are some TVs that have a 12-volt power source, but you can, plug in your phone charger or whatever there as well. But that's the part cable that was on the outside. This is where it leads to. And then next to that is your GFI outlet. And then we'll show the stove. The stove is a manual light. But if you'll take whichever burner that you want to light and turn it to the light position, and then that allows the gas to come through it, and then you just light it with a match or a lighter or one of those long neck lighters. Very, very similar to the ones you have to light at the house. And then on your refrigerator, this refrigerator runs on 12-volt power, 110 power, and propane, all three. And so right now it's turned to gas, and you change it back to auto by pushing that button. Now when it's on auto, it's going to look for electric first. So as long as you've got the trailer plugged in to a power source, then it'll be running on electricity. If it can't find that, then it switches itself to gas. And you can manually switch it to 12-volt power this way. Keep in mind though that if you do that, it is running strictly off your battery, and it will wear it down very quickly. So it's best to leave it on auto. And then this button here just turns the entire unit on and off. And then over here you have the temperature setting. Just leave it on 5 all the time. I mean, if you see that it's freezing things that it shouldn't, you can back it down 1, but 5 is the typical setting on that. And to open the fridge, you just pull this little latch up and open it up, and you have a freezer compartment up top. And then down here, this is a propane leak detector, so that if your coach is leaking propane and you don't know it, it will start beeping very loudly. It does have a test and a mute button there, but it's also tied into your 12-volt battery, so if your battery was to get very, very low, that would also start beeping at you for that reason too. So if you don't smell propane, after 5 or 10 minutes, it's probably related to your battery. And then there's a GFI plug here that actually has a reset switch on it, so if any of your plugs aren't working, check that first. And then down here inside of this panel, This has all your breakers and your fuses, and they're all labeled as to what they are. And your converter will be in behind that as well. So if you have to gain access to that, you just pull these 4 screws and that whole unit comes out to get access to it. And then under the bed, you got some storage here. And they do slide back and forth so you can get to whichever one you need easily. Now we'll look inside the shower real quick. It's pretty self-explanatory once you look at it. The light down there on the bottom left on the front is has a manual switch on it, just like the one that was outside. And then the toilet, the flush valve is right in the corner. And that's pretty much it. You do have a smoke detector up above the shower on that side wall. And then on the roof panel here we have an exhaust fan. And this is it's a really nice one. It has a fan speed control here. So we'll leave it set on 3 for now. You have the ability to control which direction the air is moving, if it's pulling it in or sending it out. Right now it's set on in, and we'll switch that to out. And once you have this once you have the fan speed turned on to anything other than 0, when you manually open this lid, it gets to a certain point, the fan starts moving. And then it will run until you close the lid back down to a certain point, and it will shut itself off.
It's best to have a window or a door open so you can create airflow. It works very much like an attic fan would in a house. Anything else?
That's all I can think of.
Okay, here in just a moment we'll reverse the entire setup process and show you how you bring everything back down, and it will be ready to head its way to Wisconsin.